Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the pre-market pulse game with yours truly. I'm sorry, end of day report. Man, I've been in the lab all day. I don't even know what I'm talking about. End of day report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com. All right, so let's make this quick, fast, in a hurry. So the first chart we got up here on the screen is the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index. Let's look at what we got. Okay, so here we go. Bitcoin Futures Composite Index getting a little heavy up here. We came into today with that crash alert, and today we got that, basically got an inside day here, okay? And we got no downside production as of yet. But I do believe that the downside production is coming. All right, I do believe it is coming. We may build up like we did back here. All right, we had a build up. And then the market finally gave one last rally up, hoorah. And then we have been going down ever since. And the market corrected, came back up. So we could do one of these things here, but then that would take us to the trend line support where markets like to eventually head back toward. So that's where we are right now. But for right now, here's how we're looking. All right, so the market bias has shifted from bullish to bearish for the time being. However, the overall trend cycle still remains bullish. So long-term trend cycle remains bullish. Short-term market bias is bearish. All right, so this is day one of the crash alert and the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index. All right, so we got to keep our eyes open to see what may become of this. Next, we have the oil sector. The ticker is OIH. It's an ETF, and we have a crash alert going into tomorrow on this one. Once again, we have switched from a bullish to a bearish bias in OIH, but our trend cycle is still bullish for the time being. But because of this crash alert, I got to ride with the alert. So I do believe that a down leg is coming. So beware. All right. Whenever you get these crash alerts, like I told you in the past, you ignore them at your own peril. Rally and crash alerts are extremely accurate. All right. Nothing is 100%, but this is as close to 100% as you're going to get. So read the reports and trade cautiously. How about the GBTC, which is the Bitcoin ETF? Well, we came into this today with a crash alert. We got some downside production before closing back with back within the prior day's close. Therefore, I think that the bias is still down and the longer term trend is still bullish for now, but I think we're going to continue to see some downside production here. So again, trade with caution. Next is the Ethereum ETF. All right. And the Ethereum ETF, we came into today with a crash alert, got some downside production. I think more is to come. I think the trend cycle is about to switch from bullish to bearish. So we'll have to wait and see. I think the market is topped out for now at the bottom of the Kumo cloud. And we'll have to just watch and see what happens. Like I said, the reports are there for you to take advantage of. All right, here is Facebook. All right. So Facebook does have an official crash alert here, Robert. This is for you, my man. All right. I know, yeah, I have to agree with you, man. The numbers look pretty sick on with the Facebook. A lot's been going on with it, and I do believe more downside is to come. I think the trend line support is the initial target around that 265 area, and then we'll have to see where we go from there. Trend cycle is bullish, all right, but the market bias has switched from a bullish to a bearish one. So once again, you know, I ride with the alerts, and we got a crash alert here, so I'm riding with it. We'll see what happens. All right, you got to wait for your intraday price inflection points for confirmation, and then you take it from there. All right, moving right along, we got gold futures. So gold futures come into today with a negative bias still in the market. Market is struggling with the overhead trend line resistance and the bottom of the Kumo cloud. We have a trend momentum reading is bearish. All right, bearish weekly trend momentum reading, but we got a trend cycle reading that is showing some bullishness for now, but the bias is what we follow, and the bias is selling. All rallies being sold. All right, so we'll see who wins the battle. All right, as we are beginning to bottleneck around here, either we're going to break down or we're going to break out. So definitely be watching this one for price inflection points. All right, the next one we have is the NASDAQ 100. And as you can see, the market bias is still to the sell side. We're getting a lot of downside production from the crash alert back here. We got a bearish weekly trend momentum reading, and we are down we go. Right now, everything is saying down. This is a strong down wave in the market right now. Okay. It is strong. It is threatening to drop below the Kumo cloud and continue to fall off the cliff. That is what we are watching for right now. Okay. We watch for this. This is what we want to see. And we're going to keep it moving. That's what we're looking for. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's not what you want to hear. I know. I'm aware of it. Trust me. I know what this means to you. I get it. But you got to go with what the market is telling you. All right. It will be foolish not to. Market is telling you. If you don't do that, then you stand to lose and not gain. It's just simple. It's simple. It really is simple. It is not hard. It is not rocket science. Okay. So keep that in mind. This ain't rocket science. Okay. All you have to do is do what the market tells you to do. Follow the market. Do what it tells you to do. It ain't hard. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the crude oil futures. Take a look at what the futures has in store for us. This thing has been long in the tooth, you guys. Look at this consolidation phase. It is going on forever. This here is June the 8th of this year. We are still trading in the bar from June the 8th of this year. How in the world do you reconcile that? That's hard to do. That is hard to do. We're trading in that bar right now. We are not moving. Ladies and gentlemen, oil is the same price today as it was in June. We have been going sideways. Like no activity whatsoever is happening here, which is crazy. I know it's crazy. I know it is. But what you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. You know, when the market has been weird, you have no choice. You just got to go with it. You don't have a choice. All right, you just follow the market bias and you follow the trend, and that's all you can do until the market, tells you otherwise. All right, so that's what we do here. So crude oil just doesn't know what it wants to do. You got a sell bias in the market again, but we're not getting any conviction when we get these alerts. There's just nothing really happening. They broke the market. It's going to take a while for the market to fix itself. Broken arms don't heal overnight. Neither do broken necks. All right, so silver. Here's how your silver is panning out. We got a bearish weekly trend momentum reading. we have a bearish bias in the market. We're getting downside production from the crash alerts as expected. Where does this leave us? I think it's going to leave us dropping out from the Kumo cloud. And so you best brace yourself for that possibility right now. All right, brace yourself for that possibility. That's all I'm telling you. Brace yourself for that probability. All right, looking at forex, looking at the Australian dollar. All right, so as you can see here, we have a long bias in the market with pullbacks being bid up. Some people thought, oh, the market's going to sell off, let's get short, and then you get whacked. This here was just a pullback, giving you an opportunity to buy cheaper, and then the market snaps right back. When you have these biases in the market, it tells you something. It's letting you know any and all pullbacks are going to be bid back up. So what do? You know that going into it. So why would you be trying to sell anything? In other words, you'd be trying to buy the pullbacks. It's just the way it is. To quote the famous poets Run DMC, it's like that. And that's the way it is. All right. So you keep it pushing. Euro dollar, stay on the forex side. Right now, you see here the market bias is to the sell side. All right. All rallies being sold. It's just what they're doing. Every rally is being sold. There's not a thing you can do about that. It really isn't. It's just the way it is. All right. So you look for opportunities to sell the market, and then you keep it pushing. All right. You keep it pushing. All right. And that's what this market has been telling you. It's what it's been showing you. You rally, and then you fall. You rally, and then you fall. You rally, and now you're falling. Until that cycle is completed and over, it's just going to keep doing it. And you trade when you're in this cloud, you're going to test the resistance and test the supports. And then you're just going to keep moving sideways. It's just the way it does. All right. So right now, you technically don't really have a trend because the bias is still a sell bias. So it's preventing the market from, relocking back in a trend. Until you get out of this Kumo cloud, you ain't going nowhere. You can stay in the Kumo cloud for a long time. All right, remember that. You can stay in a cloud for a very long time. So when that happens, you just got to know it, okay? It is what it is, okay? So I'm just trying to educate you a little bit with some edutainment. All right, here is the pound sterling. Let's look at this British pound real quick. All right, so the British pound is still in a sell bias. We're getting downside production from the crash alert. Trendline support is getting close. That's the initial target here. And it's doing it in the face of a bullish weekly trend momentum reading. Yes, right. It's doing it in the face of that, despite that, because that's what this market does. You're in a sell bias. You were in a long bias where all pullbacks are being bid back up. But now you're doing something else. You get it? Good. Keep it pushing. All right. Last but not least, we have here Nat Gas. All right. There were some of you that were advocating for me to add the Nat Gas to the loaded futures chart, reports. And that's what I did. I added the Nat Gas to the loaded futures reports. So now on your dashboard, when you go to the loaded futures, you will see Nat Gas in there. All right. So you cried out and I heard you. I responded. I got you. All right. So here's what's happening on this one. This is a real funny one. Okay. So this one's consolidated, but it's doing it with the sell bias, meaning that all your rallies are being sold right now. At least it's trying to do that. It's trying to set that pattern up. So what happened was you got a crash alert, you got the downside production, and then the market has now reversed, right? So the sell bias still remains, though. That's the weird part about this. All right. you still got that sell bias. And we need for the market to flip-flop and see if it's going to lock back in the trend or not. That's where we are with this. Looking really weird up here, like the market's getting heavy. And you have two different forces. You got weather, and then you got speculation. All right, so the nat gas, and when you rolled over the contract with this big gap here, market came down and filled the gap perfectly, then took off to the races because of the weather. If the weather persists, then we continue to go higher. But my initial target, that $3 target, has already been hit. So this thing can drop and fall back down to the trend line support now at any time. And don't forget, you do have this awesome bearish pointer right here. This is an awesome bearish pointer. So at some point, pun intended, the market is going to come down here and take this out. This acts as a gap, and it will be reconciled at some point. All right? Just putting it out there. So watch. If you're trading this, follow the reports. Follow those reports, man. Do not deviate from the reports. I can't stress it enough. Follow the report. All right, I'll do a couple of recos and then I'm out of here. So let's see. You want me to do CUBE? Okay, let's see. And that is Cube Smart. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see you. Trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's see what's up. And let me double check for you. I think this is on the U.S. equity report, but I'm not sure. So let me just double check right quick. Make sure I have it on here. Whenever I do securities recos, I always double check just to make sure that I have the security in the report, because I know that some of you will want to follow it. Okay, it was not. I just added it. So Cube has now been added to the report. So if you go into your dashboard, it'll be on your next report. You go into your dashboard, pull up the U.S. equities, and it will be there. All right, so Cube comes into this with a bullish bias in the market. Even though it's in a corrective state, it has maintained a bullish bias in the market. All right, so the question is going to be, is it going to get enough momentum behind it to push through the upper resistance with this bullish weekly trend momentum reading, or is it going to lose steam and roll over? That is the million-dollar question. Hard to say right now. I would just follow the report on this one, though. I would definitely follow the report. All right, because from where I'm seeing, it's either going to go to this to the trend line support because of the overhead resistance, or it's going to cut right through it like a hot knife through butter and rally to 36. You're at a crossroads. All right, things are starting to tighten up in these levels. So you could definitely see that. You could definitely see the market, power up on you, and you could also see it roll over. It's at a awesome crossroad. Definitely follow the reports and follow the intraday price inflection point for intraday heads up when that market momentum shift is going to take place. All right, so the next one here, we got SVL on the ASX. All right. Okay, on this one. Okay, this one has a sell bias right now, and it's under the auspices of the crash alert, just waiting for downside production on this one, which I think you will be seeing over the next couple of days. All right, what's the next one we got here? All right, the next one we got here is, oh, you want Intel? Okay. All right, let's take a look at Intel. Don't get requests for this one often. Ooh, something happened. Something definitely happened here. Whoa, humongous gap. All right, so you had a crash alert. You got initial downside production. and then the market just fell out of bed. Anyone who was following this on the PulseWave reports on the sell side, you're looking real pretty right now, but just remember this gap's going to be reconciled at some point. We could see some type of a snapback in the market tomorrow. We could have a turnaround Tuesday since the markets were down today. Just keep that in mind, or you could keep falling. I would definitely watch the report for this. This is definitely on the reports on the equity tab. So yeah, I would definitely follow this. But the sell bias is definitely intact with a bearish weekly trend momentum reading. So yeah, this one has a lot of momentum behind it. All right, let's see what we got up here next. Yeah, the theta is one of those that's messed up. I'm sorry. You have to check the report on that one. Let's see, LAC. Okay, LAC. Lithium. All right. So LAC is in a corrective state. All right, with an overall sell bias to it. All right, so you had a crash alert here. It looked like it was going to flip-flop. Then it flip-flopped again. Crash alert finally gave you the downside production. You thought you had seen a bottom. Then it flip-flopped again, gave you that downside production. Then you came up here, flip-flopped again, more downside production. I tell you, man, you can't make this stuff up now, can you? All right, so right now you got a sell bias in the market. This is the last crash alert that you've gotten all this downside production. You hit the trend line support, so it should be ready to test. Is it going to try to bounce from here, or is this support not going to hold, and is it going to break? The support needs to hold on this one. If it doesn't, then yeah, you could definitely see that break. To know when and where that break will happen, you'll need to follow the report. So whatever the report says, that's exactly what I would do, and I wouldn't deviate from that plan because you want to minimize, the hurt. Okay. And this one is already on the PulseWave reports on your dashboard. All right, let's see what else. Okay, PLTR. All right, we're sticking with equities for the moment. All right. All right. This must be new. PLTR. Planeter. Yeah, not a lot of data on here. As you can see, this one will not be on the report because there's just not enough data. I need quite a bit of data. So I can analyze the chart for you, but it's not going to be on your dashboard, unfortunately, until we get more data. All right, so as you can see right now, it has a bullish bias in it with a bullish weekly trend momentum reading. You had this rally alert, and you've gotten so far today was day 2 of upside production. All right, you got this bullish pointer right here. All right, and then you got this massive bullish pointer right here. So I think that up, and away is where this one will most likely be headed. All right. And that's all I really got for you on it because I can't tell you to follow the report because there will be no report on this one because there's just not enough data. But I think I have added it to the system. That's what I'm checking now. So that when it does acquire enough data, it will just automatically auto-populate. Yep, I just added it to the system. So once we get enough data, it will automatically populate for you. And then it'll just appear on the report. All right, so let's see what else we got. Okay. All right, let me see what else. Just give me 1 second. Need to see where everything went. Just bear with me. Yeah, I already did the LAC. All right, yep, that's it. And that's all I got time for. So y'all know what it is, man. Smash that like button. You know, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'll see y'all in the AM and the pre-market post. Peace out.